Welcome to the Virtual Open Systems website. In this video, Virtual Open Systems is showcasing an application of its FPGA Virtualization Framework product, vFPGAmanager. The vFPGAmanager framework consists of hardware and software components installed in the host system and the PCI Express FPGA acceleration card. This framework enables guests direct access to the FPGA hardware accelerators in a time-shared manner and allows to remap hardware accelerators at runtime to support various application needs. It relies on key virtualization components like virtualization hardware extension and single root I/O virtualization (SRIOV), exposing PCI Express virtual functions. The vFPGAmanager exposes APIs through a specific agent that allow monitoring and control of the framework to deploy hardware components on the FPGA and accelerate applications in an orchestrated manner. The setup of this demonstration is composed of a PCI Express acceleration card plugged into an Intel server with Intel VTX hardware virtualization extension enabled. The embedded FPGA on the acceleration card is a Vertex 7 from Xilinx and is configured with the vFPGAmanager framework and two hardware accelerators. This demonstration will show you the following vFPGAmanager features: the hardware accelerator direct assignment, remapping, and time sharing. For each demonstration sequence, we run two virtual machines, VM0 and VM1, mapped to a PCI Express virtual function through VFIO driver. We will show multiple data transfer performed by each virtual machine and managed by the vFPGAmanager's DMA. Data are moved from the VM to an hardware accelerator. When the data has been processed by the accelerator, the DMA sends them back to the VM. The data transfer performance as well as the processed data are showed on a dashboard in this order: VM0 bandwidth, VM0 read data, VM1 bandwidth, VM1 read data. A virtual machine will be either attached to an adder or to a subtractor by the vFPGAmanager framework. In order to simplify the understanding of the received data, each virtual machine sends data with a different visual shape, sinusoidal for VM0 and triangular for VM1. Finally, a context of a virtual machine is represented by the value to add or to subtract to the payload data. That will have as a visual effect to shift up or down the curve. Now let's switch to the first sequence, which demonstrates the direct assignment of two accelerators to two virtual machines. The vFPGAmanager framework is configured in a way that each virtual machine is mapped to a different hardware accelerator. First, let's start a data transfer from both the VMs with a context equal to 0. On the dashboard, you can observe that the VM0 receives a sinusoidal shape, the VM1 receives a triangular shape, and both have a context of 0. Now, let's start a data transfer from the two virtual machines, then set a context equal to 10 for VM0 and equal to 20 for VM1. You can observe on the dashboard that the VM0 receives a sinusoidal shape with an context of 10 and the VM1 receives a triangular shape with a context of -20. We are now ready to see the second vFPGAmanager function that we want to show you, the hardware accelerator remapping. The vFPGAmanager provides control and monitoring interfaces that enable the hardware resources orchestration through a set of programmable commands. First, we will start a data transfer from the two VMs with a context equal to 20 for VM0 and 10 for VM1. After the vFPGAmanager agent sends commands to swap the accelerator's mapping to the VMs. You can observe on the dashboard that the VM0 receives a sinusoidal shape with a context of -20 and the VM1 receives a triangular shape with a context of 10. This demonstrates that the hardware accelerator mapping has been updated dynamically. To conclude this demonstration, we will show in this sequence the hardware accelerator timesharing between two virtual machines. In fact, the vFPGAmanager framework integrates a context management that enables FPGA accelerator overcommitment. The context management is responsible to save and restore the context of each virtual machine. First, vFPGAmanager agent sends commands to map the adder accelerator to the two virtual machines. Then a data transfer is started from both virtual machines, with a context equal to 20 for VM0 and 10 for VM1. You can observe on the dashboard that the VM0 receives a sinusoidal shape with a context of 20 and the VM1 receives a triangular shape with a context of 10. During those two parallel transfers, the vFPGAmanager framework operates context switches that allow to the two virtual machines to timeshare the same hardware accelerator. Thanks for watching the video of vFPGAmanager demonstration. If you need more information, don't hesitate to contact us or visit our website.